Hello there, beautiful people. Just a little disclaimer before this video starts running. I have conjunctivitis and I'm pretty sure you don't want to be looking at my offline all the time, so but I won't be wearing glasses because you will think that I am reading while I'm obviously not. I can assure you that everyone has a friend who's deeply obsessed with this Hamilton musical, and if you didn't know you actually have one, well, that is me, and I'm your friend. Now, we're friends. Thank you. Hamilton was born on January 11 in either 1755 or 1757 in the island of Nevis on the British West Indies.
He was one of the founding fathers.
Hamilton was commissioned as lieutenant colonel in the Continental Army, and George Washington appointed him as his aide-de-camp in 1777.
He helped promote the Constitutional Convention of 1787.
Hamilton's constitutional legacy was the Federalist Papers.
Hamilton founded the Treasury Department and strengthened the banking system.
Hamilton is part of the first American political party.
Mostly wanted to duel with Aaron Burr in July 11 in 1804.
He is buried in Trinity Churchyard in New York City.
He died in July 12 in 1804 in New York.
So now, here's a brief story of Hamilton with puppets.
We start off with his childhood, which wasn't exactly peaceful. Imagine a Caribbean island, but with less palm trees and more death, as his dad abandoned the family and his mother died. He moved in as a kid with his cousin, who committed suicide. Told you, not exactly peaceful. There was a horrific hurricane that destroyed everything.
So he starts thinking,
He begins writing on the side and his friends are
damn, this kid's talented. He cannot stay in this tiny island forever. He's gotta do something with his life.
and they take up a collection to get him to America to begin his studies.
He attends Princeton College where he met an interesting guy, Aaron Burr.
Hey, you're the man who graduated super quickly, right? What's your secret?
Yeah, my parents wished that before they passed.
I know that feeling. My parents are dead too. Man, I wish we could prove that orphans are cool somehow, like with the war and killing.
You gotta calm down.
Hamilton also makes some friends with John Lawrence, Hercules Mulligan, and everyone's favorite, Marie-Joseph Paul-Yves Roger Dumontier, Marquis de Lafayette, according to Wikipedia. Let's call him Lafayette. The four of them become fast friends, while Aaron kind of stays outside the group.
Now, would you say this story needs some romance? Well, the winter ball begins, and the Schuyler sisters are the MVP of all. Philip Schuyler is not strapped for cash, so his daughters are the goal for all the guys there.
Anyways, Hamilton attracts the attention of Angelica Schuyler, the oldest and wittiest and the gossip in New York City is insidious. She goes to make a move on him, but notices her sister Elizabeth going crazily in love over him. Eliza and Hamilton, of course, fall head over heels for each other, and a few weeks later, there's the sound of wedding bells.
Angelica is still like, ugh, I never be satisfied, and has a major thing for him. During all this drama, there is a kind of a war going on.
Remember this guy? Well, this is George Washington. He is freaking out because he's trying to fight the war and all his soldiers are like refusing. Burst all like,
Hey man, can I help? Oh sure man, oh. Hey Hamilton buddy, yes, no, perfect time, help me.
and makes his right hand man then and there. which kind of takes Burr off. But being his right-hand man, aka his secretary, is pretty boring, let's be honest. So Hamilton saw like, holy crap, I need to be putting a man or I go insane.
Hey Hamilton,
Yeah?
you know that guy Charlie?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, he's general now.
Are you sure there's no one you'd rather promote? Someone you know and trust? Hint? Hint?
No.
Lee turns out to be a massive flop, and is all, retreat, Washington doesn't know what the heck he's doing. Now Alex is pissed.
Let it go, dude. I don't care. Unfortunately, he can do anything. But his bestie, John Lawrence, can and challenges Lee to a duel. Thankfully, the duel goes in his favor, and John gets Lee in the side. Washington hears the commotion. What, guys? Hamilton, what did you do? Go home now. At home. Surprise, you are going to be a dad. And that's why George wouldn't make you a general.
Meanwhile, everybody's favorite fighting Frenchman is still a general and doing the job pretty well, but he can't do it alone. Remember Hercules Mulligan? Yeah, he's now a spy.
The world turns upside down and they win the war in Yorktown. Yay! America is a thing now. This used to be called the 13 colonies back then.
After the war, both Hamilton and Burr go to work as lawyers next door to each other. Hamilton works unstoppably.
Chill.
No time.
He makes a promise to write 25 Federalist papers, all divided equally between two other friends, James Madison and John Jay, and kind of gets carried away and writes 51 essays in the span of 6 months. Thomas Jefferson. Remember him? Well, he returns from France.
Oh, sweet. The whole war thing worked. Good, because I kind of convinced friends to do it too.
As time goes on, it becomes apparent that Jefferson and Hamilton have differing views on most topics.
Guys, we need the National Bank, we need this, we need that, we need...
Whoa, dude, this is a way too much a government.
Hamilton. This guy's really climbing the ranks, but he's just going non-stop, and everyone begins worrying about him and telling him to take a break, but he ignores them all.
Listen, love, go on a holiday. You have worked so hard. You deserve it. Come on, take a break.
No, you take a break.
Okay. She goes on a long summer holiday, and Hamilton is left alone. Or we thought so.
Hamilton feels the same way, and with his family gone, they have an affair. This goes on for some time, but the problem with secrets is that they are pretty hard to keep. Mr. Reynolds noticed it, but he decided that instead of babbling about the situation, he can make some money out of it.
Yo, I know what you've been doing, and don't worry. I'll keep my lips sealed if you pay up consistently.
Obviously, Hamilton accepts this. But hey, what is he gonna do?
Now that the incident's all settled, Hamilton, Jefferson, and Madison sit down over dinner and basically come up with the compromise, with Hamilton getting control of the Federal Bank in exchange for putting the capital over Virginia.
So, here's a problem. Since some money has been mysteriously moving to unknown person. Bingo! They got him.
Just when things couldn't get any worse, they do. Remember that mysterious money Jefferson, Madison, and Burr found? Well, they decide to let Hamilton know what they found, and Hamilton's all like, I am not stealing from you guys. So he comes clean.
Obviously, this is pretty juicy gossip, and while they swear not to share it. Come on, these guys are just teaching to do anything to mock him in public. How long you wanna bet their pro honor will last.
So Hamilton has to decide what to do. Trust them or come out publicly with his big secret. And here's where he makes the wrong choice. The Reynolds pamphlet was a bomb. No one saw this coming. Everyone he knew in person immediately read it, and his world came crashing down. His public face was disgraced. Goodbye and chance of taking public office again.
Contracts. You have invented a new style of stupid.
His wife is understandably outraged.
I hope you burn in hell. His son Philip, however, still loves his mistakes. And when one of his friends mocks Alex, he goes, "You're not cool, bro," and challenges him to a duel.
Hold up, you did what? Look, you're not gonna go kill this guy, okay? That's not happening.
Surprise!
His son is killed. So now his life is a complete mess, and decides to screw it up. So we're moving out of the city. So it's now the 19th century. While they are trying to figure out life upstate down in the city, Jefferson is running for president. And look at that, he's running against Burr. And now at this point, Burr's all...
Okay, I guess I have got to actually take some initiative and actually try to win this thing.
Well, I've always despised Jeff, but at least I know he stands up stuff. Burr's pretty wishy-washy, and who knows how he'll be like in the office. I'm with Jeff this time. Goody goody, look at that, I win. And hey Burr, surprise, you're now jobless.
Excuse me? And start thinking about how all through his life. It's been Hamilton that constantly gets in the way of Burr's life.
And the more he thinks about this, the angrier he gets. And eventually he's all like...
We're going down.
And challenges him to a duel, since obviously the world is wide enough for only one of us. Well, long story short, the duel date arrives and Burr says,
I am not going to lose this. He need to worry, however, because Hamilton didn't actually think he was going to shoot. He tries aim into the sky technique, which doesn't work. Hamilton's wife feels distressed. She somehow needs to remember her husband, so she starts telling his story to everyone, making huge admirers of his in the US.
She tells you the story, and eventually her time comes. And now, hundreds of years later, we have told you their story. I think that he is so great because he helped ratify the Constitution by writing 51 of the 85 installments for the Federalist Papers, which are still used as one of the most important references for constitutional interpretation. And he left the Treasury Department as a trusted member of President Washington's first cabinet. As far as I am concerned, he's a real ideal of a person regarding his political views for the US, his commitment to his work and the way he stood right in front of the precarious island he was born in to demand for new laws, a new constitution, and a new society. He was never afraid of speaking his ideas out, and that led to his rise to the top.
As everyone, he is no perfect man and should have thought what the outcome for all these ideas would be. He is possibly responsible for letting his child die at young age. He has a fire for his wife's inheritance. He corruptly sent money on regular basis to get himself cleaned out that situation. Also, he did incredible choices to make to make the United States a powerful nation. Moral values are kind of missing out.
Conclusion. To sum up, Alexander Hamilton was the bastard orphan born in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean, whose intelligence and wit took him to America, where he changed the entire economical mechanism, which kind of pissed off some rule followers such as Aaron Burr, his murder. I reckon he needs to be remembered, and the Broadway musical surely does that in an awesome way. But we wanted to dig deeper into his views and his life and everything he passed through. Last but not least, thank you for watching this video. Oh, and remember listening to the musical, because it's pretty good. Truly recommend it. And then I'm talking to the camera. I wanted to release my admiration for this musical because it's amazing. I mean, how can Lin-Manuel Miranda combine two different genres of music in one? Hip hop and opera. Can you even imagine that? I'm sure you can't. That's why go watch the musical. Sorry for rambling about this.